Chapter 16, Mishnah 1. When a fire breaks out, it is the natural instinct of people to put it out to save their possessions. The sages were therefore concerned that when a fire breaks out on Shabbos, people, in their anxiety to save all their possessions, might forget the laws of Shabbos and put out the fire. They therefore decreed that a person may not save his possessions from a fire on Shabbos, except for certain articles, among which are the books of Scripture. The following Mishnah deals with the laws of saving such books from a fire. We now turn to the words of the Mishnah. All books of Scripture, namely the Torah, the Nevi'im, prophets, and the Kesuvim, writings, may be saved from a fire on Shabbos. That is, we may remove them from a burning house or courtyard to save them from being destroyed. Even though the sages prohibited saving general property from a fire on Shabbos, they permitted saving books of Scripture because of their sanctity. These may be saved whether they are books from which we read on Shabbos publicly, such as the prophets, from which we read the Haftorahs in the synagogue, and surely a Sefer Torah, or whether they are books from which even individuals do not read on Shabbos, such as Kesuvim. The Mishnah will explain below why these are not read on Shabbos. Until this point, we have been dealing with books of Scripture written in the original Hebrew. The Mishnah now discussed the rules regarding books translated and written in other languages. However, even when they are written in any language besides Hebrew, so that they may not be used and may not be saved from a fire on Shabbos, they still require storing at other times. They may not simply be abandoned, but must be put away in a safe place to prevent their desecration. The Mishnah now explains why certain books of Scripture are not read on Shabbos. Now, why do we not read from them the Kesuvim on Shabbos? Because of neglect of the lecture hall. On Shabbos, lectures would be given for men who were occupied with their work all week and were therefore unable to learn Torah. In these lectures, they would be taught many laws regarding everyday life. The sages prohibited reading the Kesuvim on Shabbos so that people should not become fascinated by the Kesuvim and read them instead of attending the lectures. The Mishnah returns to the laws of saving books of Scripture on Shabbos. We may save the case of a Sefer Torah together with the Sefer Torah itself, and the case of Tefillin together with Tefillin, even when there is money in them. To where may we save them? To what place may we transfer books of Scripture on Shabbos in order to save them? To an alley that is not open. That is, even to an alley that has walls on 3 sides and the 4th side closed by just one post. Lechi. Ben Becerra differs and says, even to an open alley, that is, even to an alley that has no post at all on the 4th side, as long as it has 3 walls.